So back again, guys, and gonna continue with the staying with live action in terms of you know on the DC side of the tracks. We're gonna talk about season 2 of Flash. Uh, we heard from the grapevines, and we all knew this was coming, but there's a lot of people coming in season 2, and Wally West is coming. But of course, they've already casted the next two people. One of them is Jay Garrick, the original Flash, Golden Age Flash. Always love Jay and respect Jay. Big JSA fan, so of course I'm a. And of course, Patty Spivot, who she's gonna be, and she's gotta be that new love interest for Barry. And I watched the interviews that they talked about it, and a lot of people, I was reading some of the comments and things, what the interviews like, why aren't they just jumping over with, Iris and Barry being together? It's like, it's a point, it's funny, because I'm like, so she's just supposed to literally just forget about, Eddie just dying, and Barry's supposed to just jump onto that, like, yeah, okay, no, that doesn't feel right. But Jay Garrett is going to be on the show, and they've already casted Jay Garrett, and the actor who's playing him is Teddy Spears, I think that's his name, and I had no clue who this guy was, but I Googled his name and looked him up, and I looked at him. I was like, man, he's very young. I'm like, are they making Jay Garrett young again? And I'm like, see, then I'm like, this is starting to remind me of Wildcat all over again, and you guys know how I am with, Wildcat. I love Wildcat, and I love the JSA, and you see how they just Arrow ruined him, I always said so I'm looking at Jay Garrett, and I'm like, they better at least grizzle his hair a little bit, give him a little bit of a, like, okay, he's a little bit older, don't have to go full on white hair, but at least show him that he's seasoned, he's a Flash from another multiverse. Okay, show that, or they can kind of do a little bit how they did in Brave and the Bold. Jay Garrett, remember how he kind of had like the Reed Richards look, his white hair, but he had his normal brownish hair, but it's kind of funny. It was like, it's obvious they were. I mean, you don't just throw that helmet in there for no dang reason and not, Jay Garrett's not. That was just a wink, wink, hink, hink to the fans. Nah, that was just flat on, like, yeah, all right, you set that. Now you got to go forward with it. I'm not saying that I hate the fact that, I'm not saying that I don't think the actor could pull off Jay Garrett. I just feel that they could have went with somebody a little bit older to give off that vibe of like, okay, this guy's a seasoned veteran. He's been around. He's not new to the game. But I even made the joke. They better back to the Future them, like him. Basically, if you remember in Back to the Future, they did the makeup that made a lot of the actors look older than they were. So I even said that, but I'm not hating it. I'm just hoping that this doesn't turn out how Ted Grant did on Arrow. Because I was hurt by that. I was just like, oh, they just ruined him. It's just like, oh. So, and, hopefully we actually see him in his traditional Jay Garrett, look. It's nothing really hard. They can't really mess that up. It's nothing really hard that somebody can't sew up something like that. I mean, basically Jay Garrett wears literally he's wearing almost like a football uniform. It's nothing really hard to make. That Hermes helmet that he wears and things like that, but it's fine. And as for Patty, they've casted the actress. Her name is Chantil. What was her name again? Chantil Van Santen. I hope I pronounced her name right. And I looked her up too, and I was like, whoa. I literally said, whoa, Irish, you got some. Yeah, that's some good competition right there, because I looked at her and I was like, whoa. My eyes just bugged out. I was like, wow, she's beautiful. I was like, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm looking at her, picturing her with glasses, and I'm like, that's even more of a turn on. I'm like, wow. Like, if you don't know, type her up. Google her, Chantil Van Santen, and you see what I'm talking about. She's beautiful. I was like, wow. So, yeah, all looks well coming out of season 2 of Arrow, and of course, Professor Zoom is coming, and you're getting a lot of stuff coming, and it's just been, season 1 was so great. Can't wait to see what season 2 brings to the table, and October can't come quicker. But you guys tell me your thoughts. How do you feel about the casting of Jay Garrick and Patty? And on to the next.